Very pleased to be interviewing our Deputy Grand Master, Keith Murray. Good afternoon, Keith.
Good afternoon, Brother Richard.
We're going to engage today in a bit of a discussion about the feedback that we've received from members about the strategic plan.
Yep.
Essentially, how do you feel about the sort of level of members' feedback that we've received on this plan?
Well, I think when we look back and where we started in this process, it was about member engagement and encouraging members to get behind the need to improve and change the craft. That wasn't meaning changing the principles of Freemasonry, but changing how we did it. So I think from 18 months ago, we really started on that journey. And I think a lot of the members have embraced this opportunity to feel as though they can contribute to the growth and sustainability of the craft, even to the point of actually putting in written submissions. And I think even one or two have actually thought that they might rewrite the strategic plan. But I think overall, to consider that we've had something like 700 brethren attend seminars around the state, and we've had nearly 90 or 95 written responses, I think it says a lot about the encouragement that has come from the membership, really, that we're actually now on a track to the future, and they're going to get behind us on that.
I know you've done a number of presentations at district and lodge meetings yourself. What particularly impressed you about the reception to the plan and some of the feedback? Was there a sort of common theme?
I think the common theme, as much as anything that I found, was that there was a recognition that no longer was Grand Lodge, or Bloody Grand Lodge, as some might say, just talking at its members. We were actually there to talk with them. And there was a lot of to and fro conversation and discussion. And many of the common themes I met on these points was a lot about lodges wanting self-empowerment to make their own decisions and understand when it was right for somebody to take office in the lodge was down to an individual's choice, and also encouraging him with a proper system of mentorship within the lodge to be able to take that step, rather than us having a rule book which says what people can and cannot do. So I think what I found was that very much more involvement of conversation, a wide variety of different age groups were engaged. And I think what we talk about when we say today's man is exactly that. When I was in Wodonga a few weeks ago, that was one of the questions we posed: who's today's man? And they all put their hands up, because they are today's man. Everybody, you and I are. Certainly I'm not yesterday's man, I'm sure you aren't either.
Well, I would hope not. But that's been one of, I guess, the points of contention, and I've done a number of these presentations myself. It sort of revolves around the question: is today's man simply referring to young men under, say, 39?
I think the initial thought was that that was where we were heading on this. It was the younger man. But in truth, I think what we've chosen to do is a bit more scientifically study what are the differences of appeal for Freemasonry to different age groups. And we got an expert consultant in to give us advice on that. I think in the past we've come up with a message which we thought one size fits all. In fact, that's not the case, because what some young men in their 20s and 30s are looking for in terms of leadership opportunities and self-development is quite different to those who are in their 60s or 70s, who believe that they've got a lot to offer society, they're just not sure how to pass it on. Whereas Freemasonry gives an opportunity for those two groups to actually work together and learn from one another. And I think that's a real opportunity for us, but it does come down to recognising that we need to tailor our message to attract those groups in a slightly different way. And I'm sure that we've got a lot to offer different age groups, but we need to enunciate it much better than we have done in the past. We can't just rely on Freemasonry as a society of good men. It's got to be a bit more than that to attract and encourage people to believe in the values that we hold.